In this video, we will refine the mesh to better look at the shock and to establish mesh independence. To do this, open Fluent and then go to Adapt, Gradient. We want to refine the mesh, so if Coarsen is selected in your window, unselect that. The method that we're going to use will be gradient. Basically, what we're doing is we're saying where there's a high change in our gradient of whatever variable we select, that's where Fluent will refine the mesh. In this case, we want to look at the gradient of static pressure. First, we're going to compute our range so we can get a better idea of our threshold. So, after you've selected Refine, Gradient, and Gradients of Static Pressure, hit Compute. So now you can see our minimum and our maximum value for static pressure. Let's get a better idea of where this gradient is occurring. To do that, we're going to go into Contours. And we want to look at the contours of Adaption and the existing value. Once we do that, we're going to look at them when they're filled and unselect node values. So let's hit Display. Now you can see where our high gradient of pressure is. So let's see what would happen then if we uncheck Auto Range, and for our minimum, let's set a value of 10,000. So when we do that, we see that in this region, the gradient of pressure is all above 10,000. This means that this will probably be a good value for our threshold when we try and refine the mesh. So, if we go back to our first window in Gradient Adaption, we can say we want our refined threshold to be 10,000. Now you can click Mark and then Adapt. Click Yes because we do want to change the mesh. And now, if we close this window, we can take a look at our new mesh. We can take a look at our new mesh if we go into Display Mesh and Display. We can see that it's been refined in this area. So now what we can do is reinitialize the solution and run the calculation again. If we take a look at our mock contours, we can see here, you can compare this to your previous mesh. Notice how the thickness of the shock has changed severely when compared with the previous mesh.